This is just a quick wee video, boys and girls, to talk through our work today and go through the tasks together. We're going to carry on with our work looking at quotation marks, which we did yesterday for grammar, and today we're looking at putting them into a piece of writing. But we're going to start with a little bit of revision about quotation marks and the rules for quotation marks. So the first rule is you have to use your quotation marks at the beginning and at the end of what is spoken. So in our piece of writing there where it says lower please I said, the actual words that are spoken are lower please. So that's why they are in quotation marks. The next rule is that when we start, and we have to start a new line whenever someone new speaks. So in our little bit of writing here it says, how are you doing today? Asked Harry, which is a question, and then we come down to the next line for Ashton's reply, which is where it says, I'm great, said Ashton. So remember, take a new line, otherwise it gets very, very jumbly and it's quite difficult to follow, and that way we know that there's a new speaker for a new line. Next one's nice and easy. We need to begin the piece of direct speech, or the bit that is spoken has to start with a capital letter. So you'll notice here that it says, what an amazing day. What, the first letter of what, has a capital W there. And I think this is the last one. This is probably the hardest one, and I want to say well done to Lily, who I saw in your work yesterday. You'd really tried hard for this, because this isn't easy. You need to make sure your speech has got the correct punctuation. This includes a piece of punctuation before we close our little speech marks here. So when we're closing them, there needs to be a little bit of punctuation. So it could either be a comma, like we've got there, because the sentence isn't actually finished yet. We have to put in the I said and then put our full stop. So it could be a comma, or if it is at the end of a sentence, let's say it was the sentence, Mr. Klein asked, has everyone got a water bottle? So after water bottle you would have a question mark, because Mr. Klein's asking a question, and then you have your speech mark there. Now that's a wee bit tricky. Don't worry too much about the getting it right with the comma or the full stop, because that is quite hard and lots of boys and girls find that tricky. But the best bit of advice I can give you is remember to have your little bit of punctuation, oh watch my finger, before we do our speech mark there. And that's the end of our PowerPoint. So I'm going to quickly run through the tasks. Our first task is our little starter task. You have, that long, 4 different superheroes here. You've got Wonder Girl, who said, I am blasting off to save the world. It's up to you to put that into a sentence with speech marks. So, Wonder Girl said, I am blasting off to save the world. And there's 3 more. We've got Coolio, we've got Superboy, and we've got Miss Mindreader. Just remember, boys and girls, your little bit of punctuation. So this one is a question, so remember to have a question mark, which is different to Wonder Girl, who's got an exclamation mark, and Coolio, who's just got a wee full stop there. So nice and easy, just 4 wee things to do for a wee starter. Then I want us to move on to our main task here. So hopefully we all recognise these 4 pictures. I've got a picture from Toy Story, from Frozen 2, from Horton Hears a Who, and a wee cartoon of some superheroes here. Your task is to choose one of these pictures, or use your own movie. Use a movie that you'd rather do. Try that again. Use one of these 4 pictures, or you can select a different movie and choose the characters from that movie. And you're going to write a little short paragraph, so nothing too long. I don't want anyone going over a page, because I think that's maybe a bit much. And just have a little bit of those characters speaking to each other. So Superman shouted, is anyone going to bring me a cup of coffee? Hulk shouted back, Hulk smash. And that would be for one of the 4 pictures, not all 4. For one picture, choose your characters, or select your own movie. I'm making this very, very complicated. I promise you it is not. And just a little bit. It's only to give me a wee bit of an idea that we can definitely write speech, and you can choose to be a little bit imaginative with it. As I say, you don't need to choose one of these movies if you don't want to. The only last thing I'm going to say is I've put this on with your task as well, which says said synonyms. Synonym, if we remember, I think the primary threes looked at this, is an opposite, that's not true, is a word that means the same thing. Antonym is an opposite. Synonym are words that mean the same thing. So we've got the word said here, which is what every boy and girl uses in their writing, but I've got a few alternatives you could use instead of said, just to make your writing a little bit more interesting. So we could use the girl replied, or the woman chuckled, or the man screeched, or the dog gasped. So there's 4 different words there, just giving you a little bit of difference so we're not just always using said. Now, if I go to our task for today, all of this is on your daily plan here, and I've got a separate wee slide for your task there, because it's a wee bit wordy, but I wanted to have a wee chat with you through it just in case we had any wee problems with it. So good luck, boys and girls, with your writing. I'm away to practice talking because I'm obviously still to get a bit better at it, and I will have a chat with you later on. Good luck. Bye bye.